right, Harmonic Pattern people, let's get right to it. Big day. Lots to discuss, lot to get into. Let's let a few of the folks kind of pile in here and let's get right to it. Let's get the biz out of the way so that we can get on with everything. Listen, everything we're going to do is with Harmonic Pattern Collection on TradingView. So everyone go get that trial now. Send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst.com. Get the 14-day free trial, and then my partner Chris will set you up. If you have any questions, you guys can reach out to me. Also, get over a lot of new people, I understand, and it's great. Where to start? Go just become a basic member, all right? Don't worry about subscribing or anything until you check out all of those materials as a basic member. Right there, basic membership. Free trials to all the software, all the books, and everything else you need to get started. So, story of the day, right? Bitcoin, 72,700. Can we just get some hype in the chat? What's up, chat? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Great to see everybody. Meso, Rec, Labor, Ogelio, Nicholas, Elon, Red, everyone else. Great. Let's not even waste any time here. Again, Harmonic Pattern Podcast. We're here Tuesdays and Thursdays. You guys like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Give me a like. And then let's just keep it going. So who would have thought? Who would have thought 72,000, 500, 700, doesn't matter. It is all about what is to come beyond these levels, and we've been stair-stepping. I think we need to kind of take a step back here for a second and just, how did we get here? How did we set that up? Because we've been talking about this for quite some time, and it's really been ever since last month's pattern down here. It was a type 2 Gartley right at 54, and then we've been stair-stepping all the way 60, 63, 67, now 70,900 taken out. It's already been taken out. 70,000, we talked about this last week. 70,900 was the number. What is that? Well, it's this bat pattern that capped the rally back in May, really right after the top. And now what's going on? Well, we have a type 2. So let's line this up and let's get to it. A couple more people jumping in. Great to see everybody. Yeah, we're starting a little earlier today. Not 12:30, 12 noon. And let's do it. Let's get to it. The thing we want to really point out is we're going to be looking for specific things at this area. So there's the pattern. I like to call this a looping type 2 all the way back down and then back up, retesting. Yeah, it's still relevant, guys. I think we're going to bang on this level a few times, but I've said this all along. Above 75,000, fat finger buys. Fat finger buy it, okay? That's when you're going to moon. It's 75,000 and 100, or maybe even 76,000 and $1, but you're getting there. Also, just to point out, everything it's here, we would need confirmation, right? You need some dot, you need something, it's not there. So you've got things where we're exhibiting strength, even in the short term, and check out what's going on. Amplified RSI, breaking out new highs. This is what we want to see. The other thing that I have to point out that is going to work with all of your favorite crypto going forward, so please take this and really get down on it, as they say. Ever since we cracked the 50 line, right here, and that was weeks ago, I was saying that's the trigger point. And then Amplified did the same. What do we expect from here? We're going to go until that thing. You're in a serial move. We are in a week over week climb, just like we were pre-halving exactly 1 year ago. You're there. And I would say this is an even better launch pad to get us to much higher levels. A lot going on. I mean, it's right on track. And for all the new folks, I'm going to strongly encourage you to review what we've been saying. I've been saying since late August, early September, that, this would be a head and shoulders. The right side confirmation is in, and we're looking for the zone retest. And then the big pattern. I mean, there's patterns here. I know a lot of people are taking stabs in the dark, people with much bigger followings than me. Is this Gartley? Is it a butterfly? Is it a crab? They have no clue because they're not running the algorithms. It's not on them. It's just you can't spew the garbage. I'm sorry. If you're going to cite harmonic patterns, you got to get it right, or you're going to detract from the levels and the real true effectiveness. And so it's always been about this shark. It has always been about this shark pattern. And the other thing is that it's been a shark reaction. And that was it. Why? Because we got oversold after a few months down, registered some oversold readings. That sends it back into the zone for the bigger retest. And you would still need some kind of larger confirmation up here. For this Binance chart, look, 76,197. Let's just keep it there. Let's put that in the back of your brain that 76,197. That's really the official level on the weekly, where then we take off. And so let's also just kind of refresh what I've been saying for a year. A year is that our target by the end of January, maybe end of quarter one, but end of January is still and remains a 1618 advance up to 102. And that gets you your 6-digit number. Although I suspect people are going to FOMO like crazy. Right now, I mean, the FOMO is fermenting, bubbling, boiling, and people are, especially people that were looking for that retest of 42K. I mean, okay, if that's how you want to play it, it's just, I just think they're missing the point here. And it doesn't matter if it's a self-fulfilling prophecy or what. We got major things going on. I mean, I can't emphasize how important, if you're a trader, if you're into crypto or the markets or all of the above, it's now. You jump in now. I mean, you get involved with the markets and you dig in now, because I'm not worried about 72 or 75,000. Okay, that's going to be nothing when we're up at 102.5. And the other important point about that 1618, it's a minimum target. It's not the top. It's our minimum measured price discovery target that I've really been I haven't wavered from it. Even when we had that 49K retest, I still and now even more so feel like it's just a matter of when. Does that happen by the end of the year? End of January? Take a little more time? We're going to know. I mean, you got the elections 1 week from today. Thank God. Let's move on from this, because it is definitely getting kind of toxic. It's been toxic, but I'm for the pro market candidate. I don't believe in people taxing unrealized gains. I think that is the most insane thing you could say, even on somebody that's got $100 million. So, politics aside, I'm about the markets, all about the markets. And we've got a mass opportunity here. We have a lot of things going on at the moment that require specific attention in a way that we probably haven't seen since the 2022 low. This is the biggest test of any level in basically all the markets in probably 2 years. So let's stick with that. Let's stick with the markets. We'll probably do some kind of special stream on Tuesday. Just buckle up. And again, I'm all about the fact that it is not even about the election. It's about the 3, 6 months, 12 months after this election, where the character of the market, crypto, stocks, futures, commodities, things are going to change, and they're going to change in a way that I think is going to blow people away. We get the pro-market candidate, well, that sentiment will go sky high. If we get the anti-market candidate, okay, yeah, you're going to have a reaction down, no doubt about it. But I'm not there. Markets look like they want to price in for the pro-market candidate, and there's nothing that's changed on the Bitcoin scenario. For Bitcoin, either candidate is going to be positive for an instrument like Bitcoin. So let's dial it back. I've also been saying that the 4-hour time frame is something that has to be followed from this point forward. There's really, there's no other time frame that I'm too concerned with. Yeah, we want to look at those daily levels, but beyond that, I'm just thinking, okay, let's take it out one by one, step by step. 71K, 70,900 was that number for a while. Well, that's been eviscerated today. Really quick, let's go over here. Yeah, go down on. I just want to show you guys this Twitter post. Okay, that was the shark there, and this was okay. That was the pattern. You go back. That was only. It seems like a long time ago, longer than that. So that was 3 weeks ago. Okay, and that was the shark that set all of this off, and that was the last test under 60,000. Maybe ever. Maybe ever. I mean, it was a perfect type 2, and we were looking for that 67,300 was the crab, and blown out. Absolutely blown out. So we want to take it back. Okay, we want to stick on the 4-hour, but look at what's going on here. We're in a serial move, and the 4-hour time frame keeps expanding, folks. So you got potential. Where is it going tomorrow? Where is it going by Friday? I'm going to probably lean towards the fact that this is a massive expansion, where at a minimum the hop level at 75.051 is where we go, and that could be by Thursday. So your next level, 75, 76, is the key test, and then beyond that, we'll be done stepping. We'll be out of steps. You'll have Moon Launchpad, and then you will continue to do that march where you shoot the gap. And I think the other consideration here is that you're up here, 75 whatever, and no one's looking at this. People aren't really, they're not too aware of kind of harmonic patterns. I mean, there's a lot of people trying to cite patterns left and right, which I kind of find funny without much knowledge, but it's like this. If we're going to connect some dots just as a projecting frameworks, that B point is a 618. So even in this breakout move, listen, the 1618 of this extension is like 89, and I think that's a really solid upside target by the end of the year. That's probably a conservative call, but if we're going to look at how this acts at 75, 76, I do think it's not yet ready for the blast off, but above 76, there's only one place for that thing to go, and that would be 89. So we will be on this. I mean, Bitcoin, it's just coming to, it's all coming to fruition. It's all coming to fruition. And the final thing that we should be aware of, and I've really stayed away from kind of doing these kind of projections for a while because I wanted to make sure we cleared out And I still do. I want to see this thing clear out that 76 barrier. But the other consideration, okay, that we all agree this is a 1618 price discovery minimum cycle. They've all gone to extreme levels. Every cycle, every Bitcoin cycle has done that, but just be aware. This is how I'm looking at it. Your 1618, yeah, 102, whatever. Maybe, and that would be a starting point. I would think you would blast through that, and then you go to the extreme levels where upside, and again, this is above 102, but I'll highlight it. It's been a while where 89, 102, and then 155. That would be a minimum extreme level. I'll show you how we get there or how we've gotten there in the past. And then the other thing is the extreme harmonic levels, 2618, 314, 3618 look like this. And I think a 314 pi projection puts you up at around 180. Of course, we're going to look at other complementary measures to build this argument as we get there. But if we are in a price discovery cycle, we are in a price discovery cycle. And when we clear the 1618, there's nothing stopping this from going into an extreme situation and getting to a 314, or I would even say, let's be crazy. Let's just entertain crazy thought. 3618 would be like 207. I just want to throw some numbers out there. Why? We've seen it before. And once we get past that 1618, yeah. I mean, there's the same, there's the channel. Even we can do it with the 2013-14 cycle. We can do it the 18 corrective cycle. It's very much a similar repeating pattern. There's a 1618. And it should do the same kind of a thing when you get to a 1618 where it gets there in a strong manner and blows it out, straight on through, and then we assess. What is it, 2618? Right there, it was like 46. And then what was it up here? That last cycle top was 3618, was 63K. And that would be, for me, another 3618 repeating cycle. Makes sense. Just makes sense. What's going on? Great to see everybody. What's up? Crypto Hoarder is in the house. What's up? Carthago, Cactus Leo, Eric, everyone else. Shiz. Sideways up? Yeah, maybe sideways up. It's been sideways for 6 months, but we are about to hit the liftoff button. We just got to clear that 76. Now, not all crypto's the same, as we know, but that is definitely just a beautiful sight. And the other major event. So listen, we're Friday. Incredibly, Friday's November. What do you want to see by Thursday night? Can we get a close, a 70,000 whatever close seals the deal on a 3-bar breakout on the monthly chart? And then what does that mean? Well, it means a successful retest of the low end of the channel. And by all static measures, okay, you begin the march back up to the top range. I think it's 89. Just so we're in front of this, where let's go to 75, 76. Next step in the process. We will get pullbacks. You'll see another 5% correction in a day. I mean, no doubt. Don't think that this is just taking off. You'll get plenty of opportunities, but this is a major step in the change in character where then this whole high level consolidation, sideways action, yeah, people will go back and say, yeah, of course, that's what we were thinking the whole time. Final note, harmonically, what was August? Well, August was a big shakeout to the 382, and it matters. There's your 382. What's the big deal about a 382? A 382, okay, is the sign of a strong trend continuation where the trend is intact, clearly the channel, okay, the channel, but also harmonically Fibonacci retracement is called the 382 trailer. That comes from my first book way back in 98, one of the first observations I made from a ratio perspective. You really don't see trends that are quite strong pull back more than a 382 if they're going to continue, and the way they continue as well is minimum 1618 advance. So a lot of relationships here that are falling into place where we can run to target. Absolutely. What's going on? What do you guys want to look at today? We will look at crypto, and then the other thing, we're going to have to talk about the S&P 500, because even if we have a pro-market candidate or an anti-market candidate, S&P 500 is starting to show some slowing signs, and that's important to get to. But let's rip some crypto first, because I want to be in front of this and get on record here for what we need to be anticipating. It's not even for now; it's for November, December, January. Take a look at Doge. Amazing, right? What's Doge all about? 17.7. Damn. I mean, is it ready? We had a big run up. There's what we were drawing from last time. Again, I think still 382 is 32 cents. That's pretty much consensus at this point. Here's the big deal. And I wanted to start with Doge because you're seeing price acceleration. This is one of the strategies that I've been highlighting with the software for your crypto. So how do you know when your crypto is going to go? Well, can we get the weekly above the 50 like that? Now you're seeing price follow through. Line that up with amplified RSI. Okay, and now we see the end result. It's really not a big deal. I'm impressed. It's probably even more so than I thought would happen this quickly, but check it out. Also, we're blowing out, some major bat resistance. We had a bat at the low at 9.8. Target 2 off of that sucker is 17.6, and we just hit that in the last hour. Absolutely remarkable. We did our meme coin session last week with the Pons himself. I can get into a few of those in a minute, but that's a good sign. If you want some crypto frenzy behavior to begin, yeah, you need the big boys to run. You need people piling in on the large cap like that. Let's go to Solana, which I think Solana's ready. It's ready now. So up here, Solana forever and a day has been weekly oversold. That's been our crypto recipe at a high level here. 120 with the type 2 bat pattern, all of that at 120. Okay, are we going to finally end this consolidation? I think we're real close. Keep an eye on that. We're up here, we're overbought right now, but you want to see it blast through. And Solana is another creature where just stick out the framework. Okay, even a 1618 puts us, if we're going to just kind of trace out MW formation, Solana's price discovery target, that peak B point set at 786. It's like the basic primary tenet of all M and Ws. Where your B point is determines where your projected final minimum should be. That's a 127 at 333. So this is all ready to go. It's not going to happen overnight, but pretty clear. Once this breakout really starts to go, you guys have a clue where it's going, when it's going, and I think it's going to be just remarkable. Got to talk about this SUI and that thing. SUI has been a real popular coin, and I want to bring this up because it did exactly what we talked about last week, where we had a type 1 reaction down to target 1. The big deal on SUI is the following, and you can do this with a lot of the coins that have already been running, where just because we have a bearish pattern does not mean it's end all be all, sell all. In fact, we know type 1 reaction, T1 to T1 dollar sign, that's all automated on the software. Okay, return it back into the zone. In this case, great start on the day. 164, run it back. Minimum 215. That's a 215 at maybe as high a run to the hop 263. Couple more. We got to talk about Ethereum. Ethereum might finally see recovery, but I think there's better plays. And I think there's better coins to be considering here. I think we're going to come back and retest 2750. Okay, maybe get up to 29 something. But by the time that happens, you know, Bitcoin's well above 76. Solana's going to take out 200. Doge making the run above 20 cents. A lot there. I prefer, okay, and I'm long Ethereum Classic. And it looks like this. I'm a big fan of proof of work. You know, I don't know much about crypto except for proof of work makes a lot of sense to me in terms of as a digital creature, digital asset that is kind of a self-maintaining entity unto itself. Proof of stake, you know, it'll have its day, but proof of work, there's really something to that. It's kind of like the Bitcoin magic. One of the key reasons why, I mean, Bitcoin is because it's proof of work, also because it has a limited supply. That stuff matters. But Ethereum Classic here, 1750. We just put in a dot 2 days ago over the weekend. And we're looking for that thing to get ready to go. How do we know? Come on back to your weekly. What are we looking for? Because look, this is actually one of the best harmonic charts out there today. Big butterfly, type 1, type 2, and now we went back to back. Where 1650, that's the floor. And what, so 2477, 25, absolutely. And here's the big deal on Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic has already taken out the 50 level here on HSI. And then you want to see acceleration. This is only going to take like one strong week. You get above the 50, then you start the march, just like everything else we've been looking at. Yeah, let's go to those. Definitely. We can look at HBAR. We can look at Pepe. Okay. We'll get to those. I'll segue to those meme coins in a second. Yeah, I did post on XLM, XLP. So XRP, I got a chunk. I'm not selling. Had a little shakeout recently. I'm not selling. I'm not selling. I'm holding XRP for all of the same reasons, and you know, there's a zero stop on that. What's going on here? Okay, XRP not in the same position as the rest of them. It needs a lot of work to do, but I'm looking for this to turn up. I'm looking for HSI to get above there. I've been holding this. I went back in on that last dip. It was like 48. Added some around 50. What was like 56, and I'll keep adding to that. And the other one that I really started chomping on in recent weeks was XLM. And XLM is actually probably in a better relative position with this kind of stuff. Okay, you're above the 50 on weekly, and you've been so since July, holding the 50. That's super strong. The only other thing I want to see on XLM Okay, you get that breakout, and that sets it free. I'm thinking anything under 10 cents is fine by me. And then the daily, so weekly oversold, and then daily type twos, which you have down here. Daily type two, butterfly. Look, it's been suppressed because XRP and the idiots that are regulating this stuff, and yeah, they're idiots. They're overpaid, overeducated idiots, and I've said it. And I try to keep my disdain to a minimum, but when you get in front of and try to slow down free markets, then I'm going to have a problem. But XLM, I think, is something where you just get some chunks and you sit on it and you get ready to ride. Where it's, for me, it's a target 2 situation minimum 14, 15. And you've got another back-to-back like Ethereum Classic. And I know a lot of people, they're not crazy about XRP or not crazy about Ethereum Classic or XLM. Harmonically, they're all there. And I just, let's go back and retest some ranges where targets, clear targets are like 14 cents on XLM. That's kind of a no-brainer. I know you could go to a meme coin and probably get a 10x by tomorrow. But I just think it's, you're there at the point where you've got some really interesting dynamics. You got confirmation, and you got this thing. You got this weekly formation about to break out. I like that situation altogether. A couple more. Yeah, I'll segue into those in a second. Before I get much further, I think we haven't looked at this in a while. So total index, total crypto market cap, the total one, super strong. I know this is dominated by Bitcoin, but you're seeing the same relationships. Here you go. You're doing this slow march on total crypto market cap where go back and retest 2.5 trillion minimum. And I've said all along that the total crypto market cap price discovery move is actually structurally better than even the Bitcoin chart. Why? Well, we can trace out and project some things. We got our X, we got our A down there at the low, we got a B point. What is that B point? Well, that's an 886. C, total crypto market cap. That's a perfect 50% correction. And then here we go. That pattern is a deep crab. And how do we know? Well, you get above the B point. You break out of that 886, and that's around 2.6, like that. That triggers the BAM, the bat action magnet move, or we could call it a CAM, crab action magnet move, doesn't matter. But that's where you get an accelerated move to the completion point of D. That's 4.4 trillion. We haven't talked about it because we had a lot of work to do. What's down here, ideal confirmation, couple of yellow dots really to simplify the whole thing. That's important. The C point being at least a 382, that's important. Okay, these are relevant structural ratio relationships to be aware of. The biggest one for me, I think, surprisingly, is going to be total 3. So total 3, that's all of your other coins. Total 3 there did the perfect type 2, and this will segue into the rest of those coins, but you had a T2 on the shakeout in August, and you had confirmation. What had to happen? 10 weeks of consolidation, turnaround, and then look. Same type of thing. We're seeing these same relationships over and over again. We're here. We've got to break out, get above that 50 level. You're there. I mean, a strong close Sunday night, that will start it and get you going. And don't get me started on everyone FOMOing in. But a weekly close, anything above last week's high, and that was 647, 648 billion, seals that 3-bar breakout. Yep. Couple more. Sure. Thanks, guys. Let's go through H bar. Sure. Um, yeah, SUI. We can do that. SUI. That's like the SEI. And a lot of these they're doing it now. I mean, it's going to be today, tomorrow. So don't hope you don't have any plans. Like SUI 16% today. That's SUI. SEI was the other one. SEI is like this. Okay, I like SEI. Weekly, there's a breakout, and then daily was oversold. That was like 27 cents. And that first thrust to 27, excuse me, first thrust to 50, and now 39. The beautiful thing about this one, and I like this one probably more than most, we're already coming off a T2. Deep Crab triggered it at right all the way down back in August at 23, 24 cents. So now you have a retest and you have more confirmation, high level confirmation, which is what you want to see. You don't typically get in the strongest type 2s. So type 1, reaction, target 1, right back. Type 2, there, taking more time. You had a downtrend. And then we have this next higher level of confirmation. That's really nice. And you can consider this whole corrective phase from the beginning of the year, that's over. So line it up. That is the kind of thing you want to see. Higher lows, break out of the highs, and then get that continuation moving. H bar, it might have its day here, but you're all the way down there. You got a lot of work on H bar. I'm not a fan of things that are lingering like that. I think you want to be trending, and you want weekly oversold, daily type 2s. This is, it kind of is a type 2, but weekly's like that. Let me get a better chart. Yeah, I mean, but you're all the way down at these lows. I mean, if you let's look at some stuff that's trending. Things that are at least not right back at the all-time low. Here is one that I think it's coming due. It's CASPA, and we talked about this for a long time back in the summer. I said, let's wait for that thing to retest its type 2, which is all the way here. It's a bat pattern. 10.9 cents is a significant possibility waiting for that to come in, and I like that. And that's well off the lows. Okay, probably has a little bit more work to do, but that's something that's, not scraping the lows here. Yeah, definitely. Friday's, what's up, Carthago? Saying Friday's the non-farm payroll, I guess. What's up, Nick? Yeah, Link's another one. Link is one of those that's probably ready to move and has nice patterns there. So 1170, sure. Bat pattern. Recent confirmation was right there at around 10.5. Your 1170. Listen, once that thing is sprung, goodbye. And check out, weekly is also looking real nice. This is the one thing that, again, been a great tool for knowing when things have a possibility to move. XA level was 940, but we have been sideways for 2 months. Why? We didn't get above HSI till about 5-6 weeks ago. And you're looking for this literally now. I mean, it's not like we got to wait 3 or 4 more weeks. Get above the 50 and give it a turn up. Give it a 3-bar move higher. Same here. Get that. That is your trigger. And you're really close. I mean, you get a 3-bar breakout on Link, and then you're talking more like 14, or maybe as high as 17. But real nice. That's kind of like where Doge was. a month or two ago. A few more. I really like Near Protocol, guys. Weekly, okay, hasn't broken out of the 50 yet. Weekly is oversold, and it was daily type 2s all the way back here. Gartley, looking for that, maybe 320. Maybe not exactly ready, but also another situation where, yes, you have a bearish pattern, but can we get something like that to happen, come down, and then return, retest those zones? Also, you know, you're not all the way down at the lows. You're treating that like a continuation structure. Couple more. Two that I've talked about forever. So Akash Network. And Akash Network is 240. Hasn't done the move yet, but every time we hit the hop at 212, we've held. There's and new confirmation again today with weekly oversold. So looking for that continuation from here and no less. Weekly, this is again what you want to be coordinating, where not only HSI, that's above the 50. All right, little some screwing around a little bit, but the acceleration comes when that and that are go above the 50. And you're getting closer and closer every day. The other one that I've talked a lot about is Render. And again, slow out of the gate. Not a lot to speak about just yet, but everything you want to see is there. Weekly Gartley too, and I'm noticing a lot of patterns with these weekly patterns that are setting up, and you need progress out of that zone. But its Render is not, you know, it's not at 40 cents. Bottomed at $4, and you're looking for this thing to resume, assuming that's a larger uptrend like that. Beautiful. Where it's like a 730 to 970 minimum target. And that's fine. That's good. Like it. Let's go back. Sure, we can look at Compound. Compound, what's BTC at? 72.8. Yeah, somebody buzz me when that gets to 75, because that's the plan. Probably need to talk about, who was that, Justin? You want to look at Cartesi? I guess so, up 7%. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, weekly oversold. I'm not a total fan. I wish that was not so close to the lows. I wish that was like a 618 continuation. Your weekly is trending higher, so get above that 50 level. There. It's kind of flatline. Didn't this have something there? Yeah, it has a pattern. So, all right, I'll give Cartesi that. You know, you have some structures, some patterns looking left where it hasn't even started to move. You're looking for that. Look, we want Bitcoin to move first. We've been saying that all along. Bitcoin's got to get moving. Bitcoin's probably got to get to new all-time highs and then some to set fire to the rest of the complex here. Let's go to Ethereum name server is another interesting one, where that's had a few bumps trying to get out of the zone here, and those numbers are like 1850. You have confirmation, and this one's a bit better. You know, all-time lows there, that floor is like 750, or it's 17. You're assuming that holds, and Ethereum name server then does a resumption. Weekly's oversold as well. Some weekly levels here, and get above this 50. That's still early, but they're in position. That's really what we're looking for. Follow Bitcoin up, get those others in position, and then let them run. Couple more. What's the we could go look at those degenerate coins. All right, let's start with the big degenerates like Pepe and Shib. and then we'll come back to it. Because if Doge is going to run, these others are going to run, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to go with it. SHIB, really like it. You got to like it with what's going on here. So weekly was oversold at 13 millionths of a penny or whatever. Now 19. Okay, high level continuation, but what's going on? That's already broken out. I mean, that's already done the work necessary. This is just a matter of time. Can you to resume that? You're above the 50. Look at that indicator. Look at amplified RSI. That's what that is. It's a relative measure that's been harmonically amplified, if you want to call it like that, where clearly, okay, holding the 50, turning up, this will precede price. And then the thought behind this, why is that so important is, again, in the indicator, we can do it with price. And the indicator, just as a general kind of framework of where you are, we can trace out M's and W's to get an idea. Like we get above that little inflection, then we come up and go, that's a bat structure where this move becomes an accelerated segment. That's the way to think about it. It's price, also it's character. And I'm big on character of the market, where this character of the market is going to change. And you're looking for those early signs for this thing to do that. The other one, okay, is Pepe. And, Pepe is here. Okay, Pepe baselining at the 50 level on the weekly. Didn't this have a high level? I think that was a bat. Yeah, it was. Did we get down there? No. We didn't get the T2. That's a shame. I'd look for the dot. Can we get the dot up here? Something like that. So I'll come back to that. I think that's probably, a little more time. Got to get the daily above the 50, but not bad. Probably SHIB over Pepe. And then how about some of those other super degenerates? I'll do those degenerate coins, and then we'll get to I will finish up on the meme coins. So all these degenerate whatever. Apu, I'm not in any of these yet. I haven't really done any moves yet, but I'll look at stuff like that. Okay, at 8,000th or millionth of a penny. I guess it's 80,000th of a penny. I got to get those decimals right. But okay, we talked about that on Thursday with Lieutenant Ponzi himself. And I still say we have to wait for setup. So one of the ones we talked about was this turbo high level daily HSI right there at around 9/10 of a penny. Also discussed why we might want to look at, if you're going to go with this kind of area and speculate, keep your, don't over leverage. Okay. And you're also thinking psychology, where the knuckleheads are thinking, yeah, I can buy more under a penny than I could if it was $2 or $3. Check out Trump USD. This came across. I saw this. MAGA had a big run, but look at that pattern. Now that's a type 1, but this is kind of what I'm talking about, where people were going to interpret that as like, oh, that's $3, so I can only get whatever, 1,000, a couple hundred, what have you. That FOMO psychology is not going to be the same with, I think if you're going to go in this area, speculate and think like that. Think like a degenerate with these kind of things. Here's one, Wojak. So Wojak's another one where nice crab. We talked about that last week. This could be starting a bigger move. This might be one of the first ones I jump into. And that's on MEXC for all American folks that are required to do KYC. But that's, I kind of like where that is. And also it's got that 4-hour pattern, and you have some daily oversold. That's triggered. And what you're looking for is this stuff. I mean, look at that back in April. That would have been nice. Now up 4x. But you're looking for that to be a continuation move going into the next several months. How about Brett? Yeah, I like Brett. I like his brother Myro. They have patterns. Brett and Myro, they could be the next Doge. Daly's there. I think you got to go on a 4-hour for those. Yeah, there. Look at that beautiful Brett. Brett, looking good. Looking sharp, Brett. That was what? Last Thursday, 8.5 cents. I like it. I really do. And his brother Myro. Okay, Myro's like this. Remember those had beautiful patterns pre-halving and then they came back? Yeah, we were in front of those. Like the Myro pattern was sick. So there you go. Myro back. Well, actually, that did another. Check that out. Yeah, that did in September. But there's on a deeper data feed. Myro was one that we pointed out pre-halving cycle, beginning of the year. Maybe it's Bybit or KuCoin. Yeah. It was this kind of a thing. So that had more data, and we were looking at that as a type 1. I mean, those are all the original drawings. Now, all right, they might be ready to go again. I do like the relative position that these are sitting in. One or two more. I think I mentioned this one last time. Mannequin, whatever, 4-hour chart. I don't know. You guys probably know more about the ins and outs of this stuff than I do. I'm just looking patterns. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was lock-in. It was lock-in. I knew it was right around there. Lock-in. I don't know. Can someone explain what a lock-in is? 4-hour at 5 cents. Went to 4 with confirmation. This is the kind of thing you're looking for. Keep looking for it. Shout out to Mother. She's ready. Mother's looking like this. Okay, had the 4-hour chart we talked about last session with the pawns, somewhere around 7 or 6. I think it was on a daily. The daily was like 7 level. And this had a lot of what you want to look for. Remember, with these really speculative culture coins, whatever, it's just a speculative money pool. Okay, people are FOMOing in and out. We'll let it do its first cycle. I explained a lot of that last session. Check Thursday's session, but it does a full crazy move up, comes all the way back down, 886 reset, and does a 1, 2, and now we want higher level confirmation. And I think Mother is ready to at least come back, challenge prior highs. I don't care. I just don't even care about anything other than the price action, the structure, market structure of this, knowing that people will FOMO into this. And a logical thing, just looking at this structure. So let's say that bottom's there. Let's do it this way. Well, first of all, even in a garbage move, I would think you've got a Bat-Gartley structure, XABCD, where look at that as maybe not price discovery, but price recovery, where you're down here at 6 or 7 to go to 22. Not bad. Not bad. Couple more, and I'm going to get out of this area. I want to finish up on AI. Popcat and Giga Chad. We talked about that Murad guy. I don't know how he comes up with his projections, but with things like this, you know, I haven't touched it. I would wait for something like a 4-hour return. Look at all the 4-hour. You pop, you retrace. You pop, you retrace. That's going to continue to happen. Okay, this stuff is, you know, you can choose to fight it or ignore it or monitor and go with it on pullbacks. I said this on Thursday that what you're looking at is another repeat, not only of the last cycle, but of like a .com cycle. in the mid late 90s where anybody that bought a retracement pattern looked like a genius. And that's pretty much where we're at. What's up? Freeman wants to look at GOAT. And that's, Pond said something about that last time. Goatus Maximus. Okay. 4-hour chart. You're oversold at 62 cents. 62 cents. Anything else on an hourly? I would be looking for, I think we do have something on hourly. Okay, look. How do we know where to get in on these crazy things? If it's not 4-hour or at least 4-hour oversold, get your hourly charts and look for stuff like this. Okay, hop level was 55 not 2 or 3 days ago. Your positioning, get the bump. Once you get a bump up, 10%, whatever, stop it up, put your stop up, because the whole rationale is that this stuff is moving now and you're taking shots. Put your stop in so you don't get clipped if it doesn't continue, but that's what I'm saying here. These are all in a position where they should continue immediately. Yeah, maybe I'm still wanting to understand why. I mean, it's kind of loco. It's like, some of this reminds me it's like 3 a.m. and it's time to go home and someone opens up another keg. That's what it seems like. But here's Nero, and that's another one. So Nero we talked about last time, and there's a high-level shark on the 1 hour. What's that daily look like? Not much. I mean, it's straight up. So again, straight up, there's the HSI retest. I'm okay with that. That's not another one right at the 618, but that has to be the low. So at 0.15 tenths of a cent, that should be the continuation move to do something larger. One or two more of these disgusting degenerate crypto FOMO stuff. What was the one that I saw? Well, here's your dog whiff hat thing. God, I don't know. I still don't know what that is, but it's a big bat pattern. Okay. I don't think it's as nice with the daily. What's happening here? It's a dud bat pattern, likely to go back 315. There's probably better things here. I don't want to just say go into something there. I'll be monitoring this stuff. They're not all the same. Definitely not all the same. You got a lot of different things flowing. Here's Giga Chad. Well, I talked about that last time of waiting for a pullback, and Giga Chad is Giga Chad. I can't even. Wait, let me catch my breath here. I'm actually covering Giga Chad. Okay, a former registered investment advisor talking about Giga Chad. Okay. Hey, I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to adapt. So Giga Chad is kind of a shark to 5-0 thing. I'll come back to that. Maybe 5 cents, but I'm not. I want better opportunities than that. I don't. What is the GameStop deal? GME, USDT? Yeah, that was something else I think we looked at. But it has a lot of the same stuff we want to be considering. This did the full cycle reset. Is this a Roaring Kitty thing that he minted? Because I do believe price action is relevant, even if it looks like that. I mean, this is your legitimate range. Maybe we could say something like 2.5 cents. You're 0.4 of a cent. So what is everyone thinking? They're thinking, oh, I'm going to participate in GameStop like it moved, like the stock moved a couple of years ago. That would be a degenerate way to think. But clearly, you're basing here, and you have some patterns down there, and you've got some oversold signals. Where can you get out of that hole? Above half a penny or 0.6 of a cent? There's nothing. Higher low as well. Higher low. So I'm gonna be following these more and more. I really started diving in a couple of weeks ago after Lieutenant Ponzi, he just kept sending me things, and they were working out ridiculously. And I said, all right, I can't ignore it. I'm not going to ignore it. Let's segue, guys. No Harmonic coin. I know I joked about a Harmonic coin. I don't know. If somebody wants to do Harmonic coin, contact me, because at least I own the trademarks on all of it, and so I could have a I don't know, have a kind of a thing. I would probably do it through 501c3. I'd do it as a charity, seriously, so the IRS couldn't get me personally. Bastards. Let's segue into like MicroStrategy, right? Where's it going? 261, guys. Let's go to the monthly chart. Remember what I was just saying about relevant price ranges? Well, I mean, look at that. God candle this month. You're going to break out the all-time high. That's 330. Guess what? We are at the 886 on MicroStrategy. And it looks like this. And anything's possible with this thing. Mike is 786 right now. 886. My apologies. Off of that mass.com wick is 296. What about price discovery? Think of it this way. Again, I do a lot of this to show you guys that we put a uniform system of metrics that if we're at the 886 and we're going to blast through that, okay, you follow it up. It's in a 1618 cycle. And we play it up to that 1618 cycle. But that's what it's doing. I would even say that on the monthly chart, this hasn't even started the move. You did a 50 correction on the monthly, and you're expanding. You're expanding in ways like you were back here September 20, and then trying to break out again. Back, what was that, February 23? Remarkable stuff. That's another way to look at all of this to kind of get a clue of how far this is going to go. Like, is that for real? You know, we were back here, it was 2 years ago. Now you're up 15x. Well done. Well done. I mean, Saylor could be positioning to rival Elon in terms of wealth. And he would catch up really quickly. Bitcoin does what it wants to do. Look out. Yeah. How about Coinbase? So Coinbase, we were on that 165, now 222. 165. All of these patterns down here, we're at some targets, but I'm more inclined to think target 2 off of that shark, 270. And then we'll see. It's super strong. Also, relevant ranges. So here's our relevant range. And all-time 886, that's what people should be thinking. Can you get all the way up here? Your all-time 886. Right there. And even if we're going to connect some dots, it's kind of a Gartley, but it doesn't work. There's not an ABCD. And you would need 886, 1618. So you're really close to taking this out and triggering that move to about 385. If you're late on that, the other one was, where was it? It was Connell, C-O-N-L. C-O-N-L, there. That's another one. That's the 2x long. Yeah, get above 38. You're 36 at the moment. It had the reaction. Check that out. But that's all it was. This is another way. It's a lot like those bearish patterns that we looked at in some of the crypto that have already mooned, like SUI. But when it only does that kind of reaction, okay, can't even hit target 1 and then returns, well, above 38, it's a full-on failure. And I would wait above 38, you can go. That's CONL. A lot going on. I mean, just remarkable stuff. Let's get over to S&P 500. And I'm going to kind of brush through this. We'll deep dive on Thursday. There's a lot to talk about. We are here against the weekly, the monthly patterns. And so this also is going to have a lot of bearing in a week from today with this election. So what's going on? We have this big crab pattern. Okay, we've been talking about this structure for months. If you recall, we went back in August, right in end of July into early August. We're saying, look for that 1618 reaction. It did exactly that, then gave us a counter HSI. Really typical of strong trends, even in the face of that massive pattern. So it looks like this. Okay, we're back above the 50. We got oversold in August. So now what's going on here? We had confirmation. The way that the dot comes into play, we need 2 weeks. So just because we have a dot trying to print right now it's not official until Friday. We'll look at that on Thursday in the session, but it would be a starting point. I think it's remarkable that it's trying to come together right now, and we'll take a hard look on Thursday, but the top side of this move is 618. So let's say we get the pro market candidate, which I don't even know. I really don't want to say, and I'm prepared. I really have 2 plans. And next Tuesday, I'm going to unveil the if-then plans. If one person gets in, we'll go balls to the wall. If the other person gets in, we'll probably still, after a correction, we'll have some balls to the wall action because they're going to spend money, but it's going to be an inflation trade either way. But one's going to be a pro-growth. One's going to be just a throwaway inflation trade, long gold, long silver, sell the bonds, but we're not seeing that in the charts just yet. But 618, I think that's a good target as long as we get a weekly bearish close, and the other number to consider, under 467. Excuse me, 567. That's our 3-bar trailer. The monthly is important too, because check this out. We look at the monthly, it's been screaming, and there isn't anything just yet that would suggest this is ready to roll over. So I want to be clear on that this is so early that, again, this is where actually we can accelerate in the zone up to the top end. Also, that's a deep crab. The other thing is that with this move here, okay, we're trying to pierce that overbought level. What needs to happen for this to be a screaming move? And we'll know. I mean, by next Tuesday, Wednesday, what have you, it'll be really obvious that this will be a straight shot move up. And not only we go above 585 or 590, it's well above 600. Okay, this test right now on the monthly is so key. Also, monthly amplified, just not there yet. It continues to expand. That's a sign of strength. It looks like this. All right. If we were to roll over in dramatic fashion, say this month and next month, okay, then we'd have to deal with this next year. But until then, we're still up. We're in what I call a serial move. Bar over bar, continuation climb. And this is a remarkable, there's 2023. That's a year ago. Okay, since that low 1 year ago, literally today, we've had 1 bearish month. That's, I think the last time I've seen something like that was the mid 90s. And I guess probably the best way to go over there, let's just take a peek. Let's take a peek at 90s. Because if we're there, and this is like a 1995 scenario, but take a look, all right? Monthly. Or, also like 2016, 15, 16, but Let's go back to the 90s, okay? I know most of you weren't born, but it looks like this. You know, it's nowhere near triggering any kind of sign. And I just come back to the whole fact that, is this really on the cusp of doing something like this, where we just blow through all-time highs? And then look, there's HSI, there's the dot, and it just continues higher. Because there's a lot of similarities. You go all the way back there to where this wasn't, people were freaking out when this happened. And S&P 400, 500, 600, 700. And everyone was thinking, oh, this is going to crash. It's going to roll over, what have you. And what you had was this kind of action was a precursor to what was to come. So I'm focused on that. And again, I think if we get the pro market candidate, no matter what, people can cite a lot of different factors, economic, debt, GDP, whatever you want. I'm looking at the price action. And so that's a massive, so far, breakout. And what you want to see with the pattern, you want to see the pattern fail. The strongest way for the pattern to fail would be blowing right through that hop level. We would still, you know, you're not going to miss out on anything either. I mean, I would be looking for the post-election reaction for the ability to jump on to whatever that continuation is. It's still up. It's still bullish. You guys know what I've been saying since 2022. But now we're getting into year 5, and we could be a 5 to 7, year 5, year 6, year 7 in the decade, where you ignore the zone. And we've done that before. That's really where we're at. I'm watching, this is HSI. I'm watching this. And literally this month, next month, if it's going to be super strong, is going to do massive expansion up and continue. Yeah, I'll circle back to that. I'll do deep dive on stocks on Thursday, but yeah, let's take a quick look. Leave you guys with Bitcoin. And just a couple thoughts. So is Bitcoin, yeah, there it is, 73. But it's not even about 73, guys. It's 75. It's 75.9. That's the number. But the bigger consideration is that with what everyone has said about Bitcoin, is it realizing the prophecy? Is it realizing what Saylor and all these people have been saying for years about it? It really kind of looks like it. I mean, it looks like a tech stock from 10 years ago on a breakout. You know, if this is Amazon at 50, Microsoft at 100, you know, Meta at 150 breaking out to 600 kind of a thing. It's just a remarkable trend, and it's continuing, where I'll stick to it 102.5 by January, no matter who gets in. No matter who gets in. No worries. All right, guys, we'll be back on Thursday, 12 noon, 12:15-ish. You got any questions, listen, get over to harmonictrader.com, okay, and get with the software and all of that good stuff. Yep, basic membership. That's the place to get all of your starter info, books, videos, whatever. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one, and we'll see you on Thursday.